Posledné kolo, takže nespravím stávky na to kolo, bo tu bude asi posledné. Ale na ďalšiu mapu. Tylu, kamaráde, prvá mapa. To je halus, ja by som nepovedal, že porazil Complexity. Koľko je pauza pred druhou mapou, že? A to by sme mohli pozrieť. Complexity Tylu, že? Tam druhé bolo čo? Druhé, čo je toto zájme? To je podľa mapy, pozrieme si buď toto alebo mapu. Tu je Dust 2. Tu je Dust 2, tu ide čo?
After that first half, but as soon as Tyloo move on to that T side, it's theirs through and through.
That's mega disappointing if you're Complexity. All the credit in the world to Tyloo.
Dáme stávku na vydrž.
A good game of Counter-Strike. First half, as you said, very competitive.
Čiže toto je podstate tieto týmy, podľa tohto, to mi je známe. Nie sú to tí China Warriors zo včera, alebo Imperial a Legacy. Čo bude lepší zápas? Imperial a Legacy, alebo Complexity?
The only one that's putting up the numbers for Complexity here was Grim.
Tu je prestávka 15 minút.
Getting that many rounds. If it wouldn't have been for Grim, I think it would have been an even bigger blowout. And for Complexity to go out and lose their comfort pick this way, I actually thought the fact that they could come into this game and having Train as a comfort pick and maybe this could be something that could go in the way of Complexity, but it still falls flat. You know, Grim did everything he could to just try and get things going for himself. He almost got a 1v4 going here. We saw Grim get multiple openings, but also multiple frags. He was the one that kept Complexity in the game beginning, and
Complexity dlho pauza pred druhou mapou do piče.
They actually got a good start here, but in theory, it was just not enough.
And that's what's extra disappointing about this, right? Not only did Adren say kind of prior to coming into
ale môžeme dať Complexity Tylos, môžeme pozrieť. No, môžeme toto pozrieť. Počkáme na to. Takže dávam stávku chat za chvíľku, keď začne. Majeme skôr už nebude? Uvidím. Možno, len to sa strašne dobre predáva, vieš, a zbytočne to rozumieš. Prášuček zamiešať a pohoda. Čiže dívajte sa, čo mám. Dve slamky, lat a k tomu jahodový monster a k tomu zelený tabak. Pán? Chlapské týmy od zajtra hrá Face. Koľko godových followerov došlo to, čo je? Ríšo, Antern, čo si Silzara, Real New Vez, Trolíček, Petruan, Janik, ďakujem. Monster logo musia do piče vlastne, že? Ba.
And this match, it ended with a death slam from Complexity. That's not the sign you want to
have.
Budeme
povedať hlavne event do partičnou, tomu ver, kamaráde. Keď máme práva, musíme ísť. Nie, že musíme, ale...
Yeah, I love the fact that we get to see a bit of G.
Check Cloud Politics. Čo dá zrobiť ten blázen? Mimořádna schúze... Počkaj, ja tu nemôžem vlastne politiku ťahať. Tu máme toto, sorry. Dobre, prepíšem zavíme CSku.
As we spoke about, had a fantastic first half. Look at this.
Counter strike.
He finished it at 21, so he completely stopped shooting. That's a big part of the reason. He does a good job right here, isolating and knowing where both of the players are. And then I gotta be honest.
Keď je Viagra by Rest, máš tam Tongas, ty kokos, máš tam Men, čo viac chceš?
Because he has no clue whatsoever if G is sticking to the bomb or not. There's a world Peter where both of them peeks out at the same time. You're up against it. It is basically, and I say this, it is basically on.
Práva som dostal,
nekupoval som. G won the round by obviously hitting a shot, but I think Complexity just completely misplayed. You know, if they, as you mentioned, would have
čo ti jebe, ten jahodový je strop. Sa nedá prestať piť, chápeš?
It felt like they were so convinced that they were unaware of the second player, and clearly he was not, and ultimately it just looks makes Complexity look stupid.
And that's the thing, it wasn't just that moment, like the Complexity.
Dneska spolužiak 5 minút pred tým, než išiel maturovať z odborných, dostal max win na Ying Yangu 2500 € a maturitu nedal.
3 weeks of practice with Junior. Let's not forget that, number one. And it's only one guy, right? Like, it shouldn't be throwing you off that much in terms of your team atmosphere, surely.
No, and obviously this is a very far-fetched, I guess, comparison to make.
Biela mi pristanem, aby som si častejšie.
It took them 1 week of practice to be the second best team in the world. So it is possible to slot in a new player and remain competitive. It is possible to slot in a new player and not lose.
Povedz tým tvojim otrokom vo výrobni a na ďalšiu dávku Cyberpumpy dajú správnu odmerku. Vraj 1 krát 12 gramov v skutočnosti je tak 5, takže si dávam 3 odmerky pred ringom. 3? Je tak 2 max. A to nie je tak 5, ale to je tak 10, 8, 9. To nemôže byť 5 odmerka, či? A možno si dostal nejakú pičovinu. Slovenská cvičil nohy skurvené. Včera sme boli behať, nesme mali nohy, ale majú už stačilo asi. Dneska chlapci, keď budeme CS-ko, asi je čas na nový cross, kamaráde. Asi ideme na to.
I'm scared. Look at the body cam from him, right? We see this highlight package and he's killing left, right and center. He's winning rounds left, right and center. He doesn't break a sweat at all. Like he doesn't give you any facial expression. He's not celebrating, he's not mad, he's not sad, he's nothing. He's just a stone cold.
Ale staticky ten body je tragédia, ako hej. My sme strieľali sa normálne toho zlaku.
We highlighted him on day 1 and so far he's been the best performer and the most consistent performer within the Tyloo camp and he's doing that without showing any sort of emotion.
10 minút do zápasu, do piče.
Is there any words that you'd use to kind of classify him stylistically, Dupree? Anything you've particularly noticed that kind of gives him the edge in terms of that consistency?
A ináč pumpa ti vyhovuje, či nevyhovuje? Že nestrbí, vieš, tam nie je ten alanin.
Mechanically wise, they're just like super gifted. I mean, they know how to control their mouse, but what I feel like they've always seemed to be lacking is maybe the...
Aj mne stvrdla, lebo tieto ďalšie už, tieto ďalšie pumpy už budú mať v sebe taký gelový kokot, ktorý bude ťahať vlhkosť. Lebo hento, ak si nezavrel, tak sa ti odjebala hneď. Ja tú pumpu, čo mám otvorenú, tak ju doteraz krajám nožom normálne. A tam dve kocky, miesto odmerky, chytím do ruky nové 2 kocky a hodím to do pohára a rozmiešam to. Lebo tam neboli nejaké proti vlhkosti pičoviny. A ďalšie už to budú mať teraz, to som od dneska. A vraj už boli všetkým odoslané meny, už by ste to mali mať možno všetci doma, maximálne zajtra to budú mať všetci doma. Ty akože nevieš zavrieť jednu krabicu, čo? Počkaj, aké to je non-stop. Každý deň všetky vitamíny, minerály a všetko, ja to mám na linke a všetko otvorené. Chápeš? Všetko. Nech sa zatvárať. Strata času ako kokot.
Nowadays it seems like teams are just stealing left, right and center from each other. It's like they look at each other's playstyle. And right now the team to look for is vitality. So everyone's looking for vitality is great. And when you start looking, when you prepare for a game, for let's say that team that you're kind of unfamiliar with, then you maybe look at Tyloo, and then you say,
jak sa volá tento? Kto je tento? Ten je známy.
Of how maybe Phase or maybe the way that Vitality, they have the same kind of tactics. You know, it's just like sometimes it just goes like copy paste, and that's what.
Dobre, ja to je on. Rederator dávam z NMN, hej, to dávam úplne, že nevynechám ani žiadny deň. To Sinclaira som čítal tú knižku, teda počúval tú audioknihu jeho a on tam o tom rozpráva dosť. NMN a Rederatorov. Gram denne z jedného aj z druhého. To je jeba úplná.
I wouldn't say the European way of playing Counter-Strike because they still rely a lot on the individuals. They still have the identity of an Asian team, but they have bought into certain aspects of European Counter-Strike, and I think the rest of the Asian scene are looking towards the Mongols right now and saying like that's what we should copy. So
Halus do piči, ja si pamätám, on hral za Astralis, že tento? Vtedy, jak mali tú... Ty koko, oni boli dobrí jak hovado, Astralis. Čau, Resto. Počúvaj, začínam s velom, ale neviem, jak dlho to mám mať v boostách, vieš poradiť? To neviem teda. 10 minút, 20? A prečo by si začínal vôbec? Back soon. Katakán, 40 ďakujem. Pumpa bez svrbenia je pekne low. Ja s tým nedá cvičiť, keď to svrbí. O čom to je? Že sa sústredíš na niečo iné úplne. Keď dávaš velo, hraj pri tom CS-ko a za každú smrť jebni nový. To je dobrý nápad do píče. Konečne. Lebo prestávaš vepovanie a hento sa mi páči viacej. Takže páči. Dobrá voľba, kamaráde, dobrá voľba. Ty si už tu? Tomu ver. Už som bola na stranečku, aj všetko som spravil a hovorím, že už nemám čo, tak hovorím, že no nič, poďme pozrieť nejaký zápas CSK, zahráme nejaké CSK, bla 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 bla. Dneska nehrám žiadnu Lidl hru, ktorú mi ona odporúči, to mám ťažko v píči. Po včerajšku som to vzdal úplne už. A... neviem čo. Takže iba C-skou by tomu ver. Tak kde je toto? Čo to je za mesto? Midnight Snack bola bomba, že? Ja dneska poviem nejaké gocidy dať asi. Máš tam napísané. Austin, Texas, aha. Keď dáme Discord intro. Hneď v pondelok budeme povedať veľmi spolupráce. Dohodle. To znie fajn, kamaráde. Kto im dal práva mi točiť nehnuteľnosti kokotom? Kokot, vieš, koľko tu je peňazí na tomto zábere? Čo ti jebe? Ale tam nie je toľko aut, ja by som povedal, že normálne Austin, že bude totálne, že full. Pozri sa, 3 auta na ceste, my tu máme väčšiu premávku, jak oni. Prečo bývaš v dome, keď bývaš sám, Rest? Lebo som mal kúpu, ktorá sa neodmieta, rozumieš? Teraz keď ide barák po 300, 400, 500, 600 tisíc s pozemkom, tak ja som to kúpal za 240 za koľko, vieš?
Complexity potentially on death's
Kedy mi
door, and
píšeš, Žolo?
things aren't exactly looking up for them as we move on to the
Odka,
second
pozrieme
map
zápas.
of this best of 3. Because this is Tyloo's map pick of Inferno. Dupree, tell me the numbers, tell me the stats to back that point up.
Za 3 minúty, tak 40 minút. Mu napíšem. Stávky dáme. Takže prediction, čiže dozvuje to budú skore stávky iba pre ľudí, čo sú tu. Takže kto win? Túto mapu, ktorá následuje, dobre? Je to Complexity alebo Tyloo. Máte 5 minút na stávkovanie, poďme. Inferno. Nie, ešte stále sa dá napísať vykričník Sabi, alebo kto chce získať šancu vyhrať iPhone, dajte sa, napíšte vykričník do chatu. V nedeľu alebo v pondelok losujeme.
What gives me beliefs, what gives me confidence that they're gonna change it around now on Inferno versus Tyloo.
Počkaj, či to ráta, vydržte.
You know, like that's the key to victory, or that's, you know, a glimmer.
963, poďme.
It's all about Grim right now playing well, but even him, you know, posting 113 ADR wasn't enough to even make the game competitive. So
malo by to rátať, ale vy tam asi už máte, všetci ste tam asi už dané.
A different face from now on and for the rest of the tournament. Otherwise, I'm
Sabi, vykričník
will be eliminated in an hour's time.
Damn,
Vy tam už všetci vymotáci?
motivational speaker, I guess. Are you pulling onto any strings that might give you some hope that Complexity could push us to a third, or is it done?
I mean, Grim is the optional choice. Like, he's the one that you need to go for. Like, they need Grim to continue doing what he did on Train, but maybe just at a bigger scale. Apart from that, maybe also getting Junior into the fold and also getting a lot of opening kills could actually change things. If they can get off the same start as they did on Train.
Nestávkujem, včera si nás naschvál ojebal, nie naschvál, vy ste mňa ojebali.
That lost it and in a position where it's a little bit out of control.
I'll give the viewers something to look out for. You know, look at the body language of Complexity. Regardless of them winning or losing the first 4 or 5 rounds, look at the body language.
Daj mi suba, nebo ťa navštívi Tung Sahur večer ráno. Šanca na výhru iPhoneu je skoro taká, jak na nožích v CS-ku. Vidíš, a furt niekomu padne z prvej, si predstav. Videl som fialový Doppler, čo má kto?
Which results in elimination at a tournament of this caliber. Yeah. So I'm almost willing to tell the viewers out there that if you look out for the first, let's say, 3 or 4 rounds, if the body language and the mood doesn't change, Complexity will be eliminated. If not today, then tomorrow anyway.
Tu keď ešte raz budeš fakt, že ako teda to nie je ako kód. Tak ideš do
and that's it, that's not the vibe you want to be ending a map on. When you're coming into this new one though, for the side of Tyloo, going to be starting on the T side of things. Obviously, great T side that we saw posted on that map of Train. Anything else that we should be maybe looking towards for Tyloo?
I mean, Tyloo should obviously just play with the confidence that they've already shown.
It's
a map that they're familiar with. It's a map they've played an awful lot, and also in a position where now they are up 1-0, like they eliminated in my opinion, probably complexity.
Tak bol bazén, iba posledne sa nám bol bodať strašne čudne na voda ešte.
I think that's in itself is a lot of like a confidence boost out of Tyloo, you know, and Tyloo is also a team that maybe haven't gotten the start to this tournament that they wanted.
Ty koko, tak to počkaj, Tyloo vyhrali proti Complexity prvú mapu, keď to bol Complexity Peak, tak to je halus.
And I think Jacob touched on the whole thing about the mood inside the Complexity camp. It just feels off, whereas if you look at the Tyloo camp, whenever they win rounds, whenever they have good plays, you know, they hype up each other, which is very important.
Či by som mu vyjebal hentu? Páni, pochopte, že ja som nemám žiadna kurvička. Nemôžem dať každej žumpec cikulu, chápeš to? Ja si musím zaslúžiť tesne. Žolo, mi napísal.
Put them on the spot, you know, put them in a situation where they need to get a double kill in order to salvage around for Complexity, and I think Tyloo will do exactly that.
And that's what I'm so scared for Complexity, right? We saw Tyloo playing with conviction, playing with confidence on a map that had never faced, you know, a competitor outside of Asia, right? Like, that's why we're so worried for this Complexity roster, right? You think it's over right now?
I'm leaning towards it being over. I said coming into the game that Complexity
should win the game. Radšej cikulu toho okulárníka, no jasné.
Get him out, move on.
Well, question is it the end of road?
Čo ti on bez ani nemôže vidieť.
It's feeling a little rough, isn't it? For the Texas-based squad of Complexity just down the road out in
Restičku, hele, včera jsem dostal ban za totální levárnu, fakt toho lituju, už jsem se objednal na psychologickou pomoc, myslíš, že by si zvážil unban. 7 měsíců subik na Twichy 8 let, man som si koupil, Fica jsem volil, tak doufám, že to vyjde Restičku, lásko můj.
Last 3 months, 17-3, coming off the back of an 8-win streak.
Už sú drahšie, kamoško, unban, už to mám piči. Pre mňa nestane za to kliknúť si 2 eurá, chápeš? Kliknuté koľko? 5 sekúnd, čo roboty, to mám piči. 5 subs, kamaráde, budeš voľný, naše mám piči. Bohužiaľ, nájdi si na streamera. Ale Čeky je voľný, Agranel je voľný, pohoda. Máš kde spamovať N-wordy, jak tu, že? Jo. No poďme na to. Jak dopadli stavky, koľko ste dali na koho? Ešte raz stavkovať. Tyloo ste dali, lebo to je ich pick, vy ste motáci. Tu Complexity vytráfajú, dívaj sa. 2v2. To bolo nejaké rýchle kolo, nie? Ty koko.
Tyloo, how do they want to play this? Will it just be a case that they count down and swing together? Yeah, both out in the open now. They're given a chance to get into these post plants and things get even harder for Junior.
Jestli to nepíknu, na čo to skúša.
Attacker, 4 kills deep in the pistol. On for the ace. Swing from the pit.
Ježiš.
This guy wants to send Complexity home today.
Vyššie môžem dať.
Yeah, dude, he's playing out of his mind. Some of the transfers we saw on train are unbelievable for attacker, and Tyloo are just down.
Čo tých Complexity akože napadlo, že vybehnú trajanami, či 4.
Going 5 wide out middle, meeting Complexity there. And of course, all 5 from attacker, just to sweeten the deal.
Neviem, či to nejaký skážu, že budem musíme ísť kontrolovať poriadne. Druhý zľavý korak hlavan s okulármi. Trošku, no.
2 dominant losses for Tyloo. 1 win over an 0-3 team.
Pardon.
But making a statement.
Bebička doprava dole ideálne. Hej, presne. Tebe vadia iba tí Číňanci, že? Aby som ich zakryli chcel vidieť. Cigán, už sme postúpili, kamarátko. Kto sa je ban, tak proste bohužiaľ 5 nových príde, alebo mám piči. Takže opatruj sa a drž sa na úzde, feťáčik trošku. Lebo ty si akože na hrane úplne. Tak si to nemyslel, ale myslel, ty kokot. Je to rebel? Kto dostal ban? Ja neviem. O 2 dní zabudneš a bude dostať 2 eurá? Nie, nezabudnem. Buben. Ale ty sa drž, kamaráde.
Timing on the mid aggress at least, but yeah, if Grim doesn't get away with anything here, it's just going to seal the deal on the round. He falls into
na nákup. Počkaj, oni forcli vlastne. Iba jeden z nich? Prečo nevidím peniaze ich? Oni spravili úplne divný ten hud.
they'll be left saving. I'm gonna let this force by slide on past. I mean, even this is a rough way to open, right? You immediately kind of get
taken. A vidím tam peňaze, hento, že 150, 700. Tak tie gumy proste forsli, chápeš to? CTčka. Ono sa to poviem oplatí forsovať, ale len za Tčka. Keď plentneš a prehráš kolo. Že proti SMGčkám ideš s Galilmi, vieš? A long range môžeš hrať. To sa oplatí, ale kokot. Za CTčka, keď prejebeš kolo. Nemá nervy ten toho. To je kokot. Jak ho smyklo. Hej, v sobotu zajtra hráme, Face Falcons kúkame. O koľko je to? O 17. Koľko ja dúfam, že stihnem prísť o 17. Nie si dať dobre dnes? Nie, nehrám to už nikdy. Nehrám to už nikdy. Katan, ďakujem za 4 mesáce. Denisa. Dík za follow, ďakujem. Denis. V sobotu, koľko dnes zítra? Á, to je štvrtok dneska. Aha. Co budeš koutkať? Clash Stars nebo Blast? No Blast bude na hlavnom monitore, vedľa bude Clash. A v noci bude UFC. A zajtra prídem na stream, ale až o 10. alebo o 11. nejaký film na Twitch. Zajtra nebudem na Twitch normálne. Asi teda, ujdem do Krymenu so sami.
Kokot, ale že sa nehanbia takáto veľká organizácia nad zgotournamenty a jebnú omylom tú istú fotku všetkým členom červeného tímu. Amatérizmus.
Ty si rasistiak ako kokot. To je halus. To je halus. Najskôr povieš onému debilovi, že nech sa naučí repovať. Brasimu. A teraz tu urážaš proste Číňancov.
SÍTÉ does he even have time for this? Trying to run now, but it won't happen. They give chase, and he's not winning this round. Complexity, they get a cooking on this low econ round. The saved guns, all they had to play with. Decision to crunch mid, and they meet Tyloo in the middle, prepared to die on that hill if needed.
Exactly. I'm glad they committed because they were 4v2 up and you could have called to stop there. Two low players go in, they get lined up, and it's so important that they keep going because that's what drops the bomb on the final player in middle. Last guy is out of position, flanking apps, and Cole gets a reset. Nice reset from them as well. Giving away the bomb, knowing time wasting is the goal. And they win it on the clock. So Complexity, huge round to win with a 5-man ace.
Takýto kľud máš?
No orb yet for G.
To je jeba. Březňák, Gambrinus a pohodička. Tam je kľud.
Junior's yet to fire it. He rotates after his nades.
Díkes. Chaloši. Čo to je za pivo Březňák? Od koho to je?
Already showing a good bit of faith in Grim on the speed bomb site solo.
Jak môžem nikdy ponožky v 1700 stupni? Jak mám tiež ponožky, ty blázen.
On his own. It's a very hard roll if Tyloo were to full commit. Right now they're kicking up dust in middle.
Nevolá zima, alebo mne tu jebe klíma, to by tu chápeš. By som zamrzol.
Grim has no more ways to block the B bomb site. Looks like I'm into B.
Dobre. Tíko Junior. Dobre, 2-2.
Split out through mid. It's only Grim over towards B, but that AWP is making its way back around. Junior gonna get here in time with that re-smoke in at the top of Banana. Tyloo had to respect it, now playing contact. Guns have been spotted, Junior's hit another. Grim allowed to play his hand now. Will get bested. Attackers made it in. And Junior doesn't want to get caught overextending here. The advantage is all complexity have.
Vedia to na bráne? Asi vedia.
Still keeping the pressure on, but trying to walk that fine line. Oh, no. Aggression out of attacker thins the herd even further.
Ty kodak, ten je nafetovaný úplne. Seviš, ďakujem.
Mluvia bambínko.
To by ma nastralo kamaráde Eri, ďakujem ti.
Just narrowly squeak that one past Tyloo.
Oh, it's a bit of a waste for attack. He did so well to set up that round of kill and SÍTÉ. Junior reloading, but re-peeking twice. He got out with once. He could have lived. Decided to go back in and
Air Skills 18, ďakujem. 18 plus 88 je už veľa mesiacov aj na mňa. Kokora, stále ideš strong jak hovado, kamaráde.
18 plus 88 je už veľa mesiacov aj na mňa, emotiel.
Timeout díček. Z 2-0 na 3-2. Zápletočka trošku. Before konečne to nebudem kúrať. Dneska to mám na háku, ale pojem zahrať so žolmenom. Vôbec ma na to CSko nebaví kúkať na turnaj. Kým sa nepušuje, nekričí miráž, nechodia zuby umývať, kým sa nehrá postupový, tak ma to vôbec nebere. Hej no, je to také kľudnejšie podstatne, že? A halus vie, že začne kolo a všetci začnú hýbať. Není tam jeden, ktorý by ako odišiel nakrmiť malého, alebo umyť mu zuby, alebo vycúcať slis zuby, alebo čo tam robil.
Triple molly in banana, Tyloo go late. Cole flash themselves back in.
Tiež naše CSko je kamaráde top tier.
Still, this has been very resource intensive on the B side of the map for a long time.
Alebo ísť pre štvrtú večeru, no. To je najväčšia jeba. Proste uprostred kola. Junior. Ty kokos. Junior ma si prekurvil kolo, že nedal som toho barátu. Aj keď možno.
And that B-stack now arrives, smoke blowing open there, made the first incision. Things can still get weird, gonna catch a reposition.
Dobre, vedem info.
Počkaj.
Ten Grim je jeblý. Čo ten jebelý, ten iba aby ho ten zabil do chrbáta? Dobre. 3-2. Nie, prečo ho držím komplexity, že asi kvôli tomu, že pochybovači dali na Tylu. Spíranická si bude, hej.
So saving Cole from an eco win on Tyloo. This is what they were doing when we last saw them in Europe, right? These quick apps, pops, these short plays with really good layered flashes, catching a lot of teams off guard. Complexity go 1-for-1, but it's
nemám podané, nemám. Ale zajtra si podám Face versus len tí kokoci. Jaký kurz na Face zajtra? Počkaj, idem sa pozrieť na video ešte. Idem pozrieť Dogsbet, či tam rozpísané zápasy zajtra. Teda v sobotu, pardon.
JT gets spammed through the smoke. Will that beckon them in? Right through the smoke to Grim.
Takže dám tam, že sobota.
42 in a minute.
Poď to nie je na Dogse. On to nie je na Dogse. Tak to je jaká smola. No tak bohužiaľ.
I mean, the way that Grim has been playing all game long has kind of embodied what you see.
Je niečo, počkaj, býva na Dogse vôbec takto? E-sport?
Constantly, press the advantage, seek out as much destruction as possible on these very aggro plays.
4-2.
Beginning that came from him wanting to be the difference maker, feeling like he had to be the difference maker here on Inferno. Though it's been more.
Nedávno ešte nemajú supera, však ste povedali, že je Face versus Falcons, nie?
Looked crazy.
Čiže oni nejdú proti sebe? Aha. Je, že už je akože zápas daný.
I mean, Inferno's got to be a team effort, right? Like, one-man army only goes so far on a map like this. It's very hard to solo carry.
Dobre, že by si mi nejaké vitamíny pro bežné uživatele, Miško, sem pracovne vytížený, tak ani moc necvičím. Samozrejme, man. Máš na to, aby sa cítil psychicky dobre a fyzicky dobre, aby si mal silnú cikulu, chuť do života a k tomu Omega a Dčko asi. Keď zoberieš men Omega Dčko, tak si myslím, že je kľud. Možno ešte magnésko do piče. Ale asi základ. Omega Dčko určite základ a ak máš niečo extra peňazí, tak aj men.
I mean, for Cole, the problem hasn't been getting to these like winning positions. It's kind of holding on to them, right? They had that 6-2 lead back on train. Even then, they had many rounds in there where it felt like they were so close to winning them.
I like this play. He's got to be scared of alt mid though.
He's certainly put himself out there more since getting onto this.
Nevieš, prečo mám sebevražené myšlienky, keď som začal brať men? Možno si konečne chlaba, vidíš realitu. Keď to stojí za piču, tak ti to niečo akože hovorí. Ferino, čau. Kokolino dal sub, ďakujem veľmi pekne, pred 5 minútami ja som to myslel, prepáč, som idiot. Ale daj vykričník aby si mohol vyhrať iPhone 16, ktorý sa losuje v nedeľu alebo v pondelok.
No business with that opener.
That's really awkward. JT was solo B playing that position as well. Grim had just peeled off. Now it's the scramble back over. He's thanking his lucky stars here that Tyloo didn't go quickly after getting that first kill.
Počuj, kedy si nám posledný dostal tak na piči, že si kričal, že mama zachráň ma? Ako na mamku som kričal len, keď som vyjebal tú pálivú papričku. Zakrič mamku a to bolo tak 10 rokov späť.
I would have liked to see Grim drop that Molotov, right? He knew there's a window that Tyloo could just pop into B. I guess he felt he had timing, but they just run in. And his molly just goes out nowhere.
Čiže ja som povedal cudziemu chalaniskovi, čo bol u nás prvýkrát, čo mu mamku aj nepoznal, si predstav. Zakriž mamku. Jaký som musel byť vnútri vystražený, že čo tam ide s hubou, som horel jak kokot.
That's like the old school Fnatic. Oh, if Fury did it, yeah.
Kabožut, čau.
Fnatic did back in the day, and then Fury were doing it a lot during the online era.
Yeah.
It's a nice eco strat as well, sending pistols through spawn. And to be fair, I mean, Cole were just completely under-defended. JT alone, Banana is
dobre,
kind of crazy. Especially when the whole map is quiet.
Vyvádzajú. Resi, dáme ti prihlášku na CS Túra, len sa musíme ustiť, že majú aj kategóriu padol ako prvý. Ticho.
Still a sick kill for Jam Young, but reliant on JT in that position.
Tu dojebali strašne, ako proti tekom prehrať kolo. Akú cenu vidíš za jeden bitcoin za 3 roky? 200 pade plus?
And Tyloo, they got tricks, man. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
That's why I like these short pops that they even almost won. Junior does it again, but player running back dodges.
Nie v čom dúfaš? Ja nedúfam, je to jedno. Je to fúk. Čo si myslím? Smoke, flash a nič.
Gets him an answer after Grim's smoke spam.
Nie je to jedno. Ja som, že mi to je jedno. Aj tak sa neviem predávať. Ani keby je teraz Bitcoin 300 000, to nepredám.
Wild for JT. As that solo B player now, he's got to be a far safer pair.
Takže mi to úplne ukradnuté. Práve že nech je čo najdlhšie na takejto cene. Nech môžem dokupovať. Chápeš?
Could have been a huge kill to find in middle.
Za reálne lacnú cenu.
They see the orb, they go back to B because
kedy by si predal, nepredal.
Bomb is in apartments, don't forget. Tyloo are trying to force JT's rotation back.
Nepredal by som ho ani za 500 000.
So we may see Complexity panic in this moment. It's a great grenade, max damage, but do they bite down on this play? Will they fall for the fake? JT hasn't wavered yet. Molly goes in. Second player moving over. Apps contact
now. Ako 1, 2 by som asi predal, vieš, možno keby je milión. Ale možno ani to nie, kto vie. No jasne, že tu CS-ko ticho, kamaráde, taký zápas, ty komu dívaj sa. 4-4. On je dlho. Však áno, za prvé, že keď to nenúti, na čo by si predával, a za druhé, keď vieš ty kokot, jak sa tlačia peniaze, jak sa všetko reguluje a ja chcem poslať kamošovi 5000 a zastavia mi plávu a vyšetrujú to, že na čo to komu posielam, na čo to on ide využiť, musím to ohlásiť vopred a píčoviny, tak si predstav, že ideš kúpať niečo za 100 000. Ja keby teraz jen kamošovi poslal 100 000, tak mi odjebu účet normálne, zamrzne mi karta, zamrzne mi všetko, vyšetrujú mňa, vyšetrujú jeho, odkiaľ mám pôvod peňazí, zdanil som to, blablabla a 100 000 uvidím za 6 mesiacov. Bitcoin, minúta. Serus. Bajs, nachystaj sa, do potom zápasu ideme hrať. Ale pokud to poslal môže len, no tak jasné. Mne už dvakrát zamrzli účet takto, keď som Kennymu posielal do Švajcu peniaze. Najskôr 10 000 a potom 5 sa mi zdá či koľko a obidvokrát mi zamrazali účet, odjebali kartu a nemohol som platiť nič. A vyšetrovačka, keby som robil s drogami, ty kokot. Ona je jeble. A to som si ešte dovolil, tam nenapísať jeho meno, ale že ako voláme, že komu to posielam a iba pre seba, že Kenny. Vieš, že bam, pošlem mu to tam. A banka hneď, že jeb! Zamrznutý účet, kamarát, na 3 týždne alebo na koľko. Vyjebám si ti hovorím.
8 rounds of Tyloo and we say goodbye to the Texas-based team here in Austin.
Čo mám za banku? FIO, VUBčku, Tatru.
One of the favorites to make it through this stage, one of the most picked.
Pre tvoju bezpečnosť. To už neviem, prečo to nespravili. Ale keď si mi povedal, že poslám kamošovi peniaze a oni že a na čo? A že využite. A pôvod? A otázky. Čo ide potom? Sú to moje peniaze.
Getting some time in Europe, some experience, improving. Grim really slotting in with the departure of Elite, starting to look like the star of the squad. All of that unraveling now, and has been in the past 2 days. Getting destroyed on day
Ale niektoré vlastne nemám účet.
In a record-breaking performance.
Ty kokos, dobré.
And even falling in the head-to-head to NRG.
To bol token na tom banáne, že? To bol token, ak tam vykúkol.
Complexity trying to survive elimination from teams from 3 different continents.
Nemám podľa na nikoho, len som zhral stavky prečet, vieš?
Tyloo have full mid control.
To je blázen. Tyloo za CT rozjebu? Ako je to ich pick, tak kto vie? Neviem, jak hrajú, ja som ich nevidel na tej mape vôbec ešte. Zase na žiadnej som ich nevidel, možno kedysi. Bo ten tým je už dlho Tyloo. Ale vieš, že je halus, že ak sa to zmenilo, že tie niky, čo sú v zápasoch, aj za tie face teamy a tieto pičovinky, tak sú fakt, že drvia väčšina aj nových mien.
Yeah, Junior's become a lot more reliable on this AWP. Nix in the pit with a good swing. Well,
kamarát, on to že aj prežil.
Takes his chance to go and there just isn't time to win this for Tyloo.
To by som vidieť z jeho pohľadu, jak to strelil. Čiže mal zoomnuté, alebo flikol zoom, quickscope, boom.
Nick's double from down in the pit goes a long way for Complexity.
Yeah, they almost burned him out entirely. If they dropped another nade on him, he would have been gone,
Nie
right? Double HE, but it's nade molly, and he dodges it with 8 health remaining after those 2 kills. I mean, that's the detail. It feels like
ale že Complexity sú stejím na rebríčku a hrozí mi 1-3.
Set up this next round to be super important. Whoever wins it kind of starts to really be in control of the money. I'm saying that Messiah actually has a bit of extra cash. Oh no, I think he's just dropped an AWP in a play. So yeah, this one gonna hit like a 2-4 round. Tyloo have slightly more staying power out of the 2 squads, but there's a lot riding on this next one with how close these last few rounds have been. So the winner of this, likely to go on and win out the half. But Complexity, that represents a chance at salvation, staying alive in Austin.
A kvôli čomu vlastne tam nemajú toho hráča z Complexity? To už pred 2 dňami, či kedy im chýbal ten hráč. Ja, aj to bol ten s tými vízami, aha. Ten Grim je jeblý, kam rozbehol.
And an early 5v4 delivered to Tyloo as Complexity's aggression is punished early at the top of the round.
Bálo, mám to, čau.
They never jump the gun, right? They're never rushing off of an entry on this map because they are reliable.
Luxo, ďakujem.
Have the depth on this T side and it's showing. They get the 5v4, they freeze. This opens a lot for a moment, but no one punishing here for Complexity. And Tyloo are ready to trade this kill. 6E. A very difficult multi-kill here. He's got a teammate to help him out with that Molotov. They push in. 6E finds them both. Offer the Tyloo flash as well. Set up for more. G will find his teammate. 6E trapped in right now. This could go wrong.
They've got 6E in a box, and this was a 2v4. He's been burnt, forced out into the swing.
To dojebali kamaráde, ty Complexity, chápeš to?
Grind this one out into an even odds battle. Complexity don't know where to go right now. They're flying blind.
So byl tabak, že nie? Náhodou?
It's been open for a while. JT gonna try and slink in and take up this position.
Poďme tabak. Complexity sú mimo, musia ísť domov dnes už. Jaký? Mám tu zelené velo. Eukalyptus storm.
Left in the clutch, and it's the clash of AWPers. G's gonna do it with a pistol, all out of ammo. Junior
Dobre, Junior
will not let him have it. And in these last few rounds, Junior on this AWP has been a real saving grace for Complexity. Here got the must-win kill over towards the B site that sends them into the A stack. Now he's locked in.
Ale nie som vôbec. Mali sme hrať s ním Barzovny, len Jolo mal nejakú robotu.
Grim's not had anything near what he showed us on train, getting picked at banana, getting left alone. Junior's been reliable on both sides. Cole continue to try and force the issue.
As a player, been someone for a long time who's just been trying to change the narrative around himself, regain some of the confidence he used to possess. If he can be the reason that Complexity stay alive in Austin, that would be a huge turnaround for Junior outstanding in this event.
Nick stopped them. That flash actually has a lot of impact. It stops the roll of Tyloo with the smoke down. They can still come through it together.
Tak on to dal ešte, odpadám. 13, to bola chyba ako kot.
Left Junior in another clutch.
A long way away. Is Messiah gonna go A?
Tí Complexity hrajú to bečko zle podľa mňa úplne.
He's assuming Junior was far closer.
Ja tam vidím chyby, chápeš? Jak to furt hrávam, tak vidím tam chyby jak hovado.
And so Junior arriving late here and still having seen nothing has clued him in. He's one step ahead here. Is this going to be another life-saving round from Junior's AWP? First shot sails past. Swing out from Messiah, but unable to convert on the kill. Nade primed, low on health. Junior's done so much damage, but the next shot means everything. And neither one of them can get their bearings. Eventually, the plant will be conceded. Messiah's down to the pistol. How much damage does he think he's done here? It's going to have to be a clean shot.
He's got the gap under the box. You can see him cross in left side.
Junior closing the distance. Glock swing.
Oh my!
Trying to pistol.
On je jeblý.
But Junior
Je retard?
Rises to the occasion for Complexity. That's back-to-back rounds in which Junior's Orb has had tremendous impact. Cole close out this first half in the lead.
1v1. Nemal v M4 náboje. Mal 2 minúty na to prebiť.
I started 2015, I think, like I was 10 or something, I don't remember exactly.
Ale nemu stačil jeden náboj z M-ky. Dať jeden.
So my father took away my PC. I started back in 2021 again and just started playing all day, all night. And I got an offer.
Kamarát, to je zlé, 7-5, ty prasa. No, uvidíme.
I was just grinding face it, solo gaming. I was hitting the #1 on leaderboards, so that was how I got spotted, right? And I didn't have like expectations. I just joined and the guys were a bit more experienced.
Týpek mi ráno pripravoval zábitky a dnes hraje Major, halus.
How to play and I just listen and
Tento mi dnes varil v Auparku obed. Jak sa tak rýchlo dostal? Vy ste jebli obidvaja ináč.
And I got full-time offer then. We played one season, and then again the Face It leaderboard, right? I was on top of the Face It leaderboard and got spotted again in Sangal. There we just grinded from top 200 to top 30 and...
Nemôžeme hneď takto klávesnicu. Že by som karpál dostal, ako keby hneď tak si vykrčil.
I'm playing with Roland, and he's been in the scene for a long time, right? Yeah. And he said I even have more games than him, so... We were on flare break, and we just got a call from Heroic, from the coach, saying they were interested, right? Because they sold to Falcons, obviously. But it was kind of quiet from the Sangal side, so it was...
But. 18:30. Čiže už si vybrali film na zajtra, čo budeme kúkať?
Obviously, like, since Jota went to a tournament...
Či stále nič.
And we had the core, we had some decent ranking. And of course, Heroic, good management, good org, good stuff behind it, so it was like an obvious choice. Sampayas, who's been experienced, is joking inside the team and like outside of the game, and Tenir is the same. Like we're just a bunch of guys having fun, joking around. So it's the chemistry is great. Like we're having fun every time.
Peter, čau, či Pater, či čo si.
You've made it to the major, just a milestone achievement for you individually.
Sinners, že by sme pozreli. Tam budú isto holé scény alebo niečo. Kazli, čau. Bol by si radšej pro v CS-ku alebo v LoLku v CS-ku, samozrejme. A nech sa by som byť pro hráč. Tam moc cestuješ. To vôbec neexistuje. Sinners sa non-stop trtká, tak to nič. Čo si lenivec? Však ty keby chceš už si pro, ale nechceš, presne tak. Som mal na výber, že budem hrať za Navi s Lacom, alebo poviem full-time stream a išiel som stream, chápeš? Dneska má ty, ako mám tam 500 €, ale možno to necháme až... Lebo v nedele máme, vieš, watching stream, menúčko, make wrap, pičovinky, tak možno tam by sme to vedeli obchať.
Complexity staring elimination from Austin dead in the face after giving up Train earlier. Tyloo came through with a vengeance. And even though they started off strong here on Inferno, that activation from the Complexity Orb...
Nehral si s Oskarom aspoň nejaký zápas? Neviem, či som hral s Oskarom zápas, alebo s Ríšom s Questonom.
It's a very different tempo to what we got to open up.
Jak sa oni volali? X-Status?
It was an all-in pistol brawl in mid to start this map. This one a lot more measured. Grim on the board early. Starts to pick through the defense of Tyloo. Attacker's made to withstand this axe hit, but his teammates in the side in the meantime.
No jasné.
Now Attacker falls, Jam Young and Messiah make their way over. Complexity scrapping every step of the way. Is that a decision they will come to regret as the bomb lost out in no man's land? This is turning against Complexity. Tyloo of the bomb control, and they're still getting aggressive. Messiah looking like he wants to walk through this smoke. Jam Young puts out one more. It's just Grim.
1v1 situation. Počkaj, on má v jednom vedení, nie?
The reroute is really nice though.
Goes all the way around long side.
Ten Grim to prejebe, ten debil, úplný.
He could walk away.
Messiah's not watching this. Bomb's been retrieved. Will Messiah realize? No peek out yet. Still hasn't seen that bomb's been stolen.
See ya.
And so Grim makes it out.
On si musí dávať stále bombu. Kámoško, tak henten. Kamaráde za toho Tylu. To je gumička. To je gumička. Ježiš. Týpek vypadá jak Astator rozkřížený s Astatorem.
And a lot of times having ticked off this bomb already, Messiah has no time to be quiet or stealthy in this approach. No kit to work with either, so the kill's got to come instantly. Grim ices him out and handles it.
Dobre, komplexity žije, pome.
That's Grim with 4 to save the day in this pistol round. It was fast getting out of control. But if there's one thing that's been apparent with complexity in this series, it's that they can have faith in Grim to step up when the pressure's on.
Yeah, he's definitely struggled more here on Inferno, but that's more of the Grim we know and love, more of the Grim we saw on Train, coming through with the round saver. And it's not just aim, it's brain as well. That pickup of the bomb.
Pardon.
Messiah, last thing he expected.
No, I swear I was saying live.
And Complexity are back in business, looking to fight for a third map. With their backs against the wall after losing their home pick, Tyloo. This was felt like as much as a guarantee as Train should have been for Complexity, and it's going a similar way. Ooh. Complexity coming around the corner as Tyloo departs.
Nesadzal som. Čo spravia?
Smoke for Jamyon left. Complexity have no HE to break it open. If they try and wait this one out, it's going to get very, very obvious. They just run through.
Dobre. Do smoku.
Nice and clean. Tyloo need to save their guns.
Yeah, I think that was a great read on the situation from JT, right? He finds himself in that type of position. You see Grim doing it as well, playing that solo B hole, just trying to smoke and delay and buy time on that side of the map.
Mohol by si prestať nadávať, lebo za chvíľku tu zapneš ty a bude to na Clowniada. Punisher, ty uvidíš, jak dneska budem hrať, idem vymysleť nový cross, chápeš to? Dneska bude nový crossíček. Yep. Dneska spravím granade jak kokot. Podľa si hral tenkrát s Questonem, Oskarem a tedy si niekoho zastupoval? Je to možné. Complexity je úplne vybavený bez toho Hauserka. My, že by ich vyjebali a nemali by 1-3, či koľko majú, či toto? Že by tam bola šanca, že by boli podstatne lepší kvôli jednému hráčovi? A nehral si vôbec špatne, podľa mňa, ja si to vôbec nepamätám do piči, paradox. Vôbec, to bolo strašne dávno.
Timeout here is nice though, right? Like, gives you a bit of time to think about how you want to deal with this force, but also I think it's going to
cause Complexity to slow down a little bit, right? You know they just saved 4 guns, you saw they force bought up here, and so you won't really know, you know, there's going to be some wild Hail Mary with the SMGs. We're actually getting a lot of smokes purchased up by Tyloo, so, you know, that's giving them options, but usually when you kind of get smokes like this, you want to try and delay the round. Simulate every match.
Yeah, we just saw that on B, right? How well did that go for them? Complexity called the bluff, they go right through the smoke. That's a perfect read. Tyloo by the time this round.
Možno Gardenom.
Fighting at Banana. Oh, this is risky for Cole.
Možno trošku.
All here, looking interested. MP9s round corners, full flash. JT still does them in.
Dobre, máme 4v3.
Grim gets more info. They know about a further player for Tyloo, so Cole can pull it off. Take that advantage.
No Rico, stiahnite vy motáci, však viete obi dvoch. Gumičky.
Complexity make the same play.
Čiže sú neviem, či kúkať tento tým, lebo sú teraz 2 zápasy naraz, neviem, či kúkať komplexity, vieš, môžu kúkať tých druhých.
And a gamble for Tyloo, it's all they've got.
Kde mám?
Right now the gamble's looking well founded. Cole are going to recommit into the top of Banana, into this SMG. The last man is here. They know that Mercury is in at the top of Banana. 60's been sent away. It's Junior up close.
Jedna v jedna.
To seal the deal on the round. Lock in double digits right there. Instead, it's got to be 60 in this clutch.
He's got a kit, he's got a smoke. Dare I say he's got a chance.
AK picked up as well. Low on health, sure, but one clean
no dávaj,
shot.
poj, nečakaj.
That's all it takes for Mercury
Nemá
to
defusky,
ruin
či?
the day of complexity.
Čo skôr, keď má defusky?
A má? Right? He's been given so much freedom here to pick and choose his post plant. 60 is exactly where he wants to be, and he's going to catch Mercury on that push.
To je nápad, nie by tam prešiel proste s píkom doľava, ty kokot. Ako skočiť s nožom, kokot, ako, ja to jebem. Ja vám hovorím, aby som lepší ako oni. Prísam. Tabak mám, vyplúvam.
And the path of least resistance here for Cole is win this rifle round. This is the one for all the marbles.
Yeah, it feels as good as done if they can pick it up. Break the money.
Bežne men po jídle nebo před?
Into a buying
Kokot, ja neviem. Random. Ty som dneska nemal. Dám si ho za chvíľu. Čau, žolíku. Čau, žolíku.
Čau.
Park Void 10-5.
Still looking to fight. 3 players here. JT gets
smokes
the Molotov, but they go swinging in. Tyloo 4v5.
Nejaké hniezd na hlave, bol som v sprche, asi som to neulízal dostatočne. Mám hniezdo na hlave? Vtáčie?
JT's put so much pressure on over at B, and he got a lot of info as well. He knows once again it was a 3-man start on that side of the map. And that's given Complexity enough reason to set their sights on this A play. Zorp roams in this location, though he's got support as well from Attacker down here in the pit. That nade gonna get rid of JT and finish this fight.
Lebo môj oný idol je, vieš kto? Kotlár.
Orp on the line, and G just not letting up, but more will be required from Tyloo Zorpa.
1v2, 1v3. 9 HP. Toto jak dá. Kamaráde, jak toto jak dá, tak giftujem 50 subs.
Surely not, Junior. I mean, 9 HP, and he'll decide against it. Holding onto the AWP, just too tempting. And so a swing and a miss for Complexity. The round that could have just laid this map to rest won't come through.
A jak to nezagiftujete vy? Yep.
Cole have the rounds to play with definitely, but it's reassuring to see a 3 alive round for Tyloo. They get to actually maintain some economy. They take a decisive round. G hits his AWP shots. And so the save is an acceptance from Junior, but it's also a sign that he's not done yet.
Dobre, dal som si 2 pivka, išiel domov.
Kokos, kde ste boli?
V Bitter Priest sa to volá.
Veľa ľudí, pohoda?
Dobre, dobre. Bol tam oný. Martin Nečas. Hokejista český. Hrá za Colorado, tuším, či kde.
Hokejista najlepší český? Kokos.
Najlepší je? Není Pastorík lepší?
Random meno za jebe, jemu jebe vidno, že pil.
Jaké random meno, kokot?
Random hokejista,
na mojej storke to mám.
Z Brumova, ty kokot. Brumov lednice, či jak sa volajú.
If you remember, on like day 1 of the tournament, when no one was really hitting for Tyloo, it felt like he was kind of the worst offender.
Yeah.
Got given a lot of orbs, kept finishing down bottom of the board.
Ja, to preto sú tu nemohli monster.
Despite always having his weapon of choice. And I think, you know, when he's switched on, he brings a lot of energy to this team. He brings a lot of hype to this squad. Something that Tyloo seemed to thrive around. He tries his hand at the opening again. But this time comes up short, takes a lot of damage in the process.
Too soon, bráško, too soon. Žolo, že keď ti niekto s 2 promile povie, že je hokejista, ešte tak nemusí byť.
Však nech ide na moju storku do piče, veď mám s ním fotku, kurva.
Ty kokos.
A minulý týždeň, že tam bol oný. V tom istom bare, Pastrňák. To je asi nejaký hokejistický kámo.
Tam chodí na štetky.
Asi.
Tento zápas by mal povinne kúkať Jolo aj Token. Proste zostať dodržia bečko a 3 Dček majú.
Kde?
And say, come back for more.
Prečo si Jolo nepovedal, že má so mnou fotku? Alebo že mám s ním fotku?
Mám viac followerov.
They say to Knicks, mate, just go die. We need the money. Junior's going to try get out with this AWP intact. But the scoreline's starting to close up and rather crucial.
10-7, kamaráde.
Round leveled against complexity from Tyloo. Now they're starting to build up money on this CT side. There's no longer an easy route to victory for Cole. They've got to grind out a win here on Inferno.
Yeah, maybe you weren't worried at 10-5, but now the writing's on the wall, isn't it? Back-to-back clean rounds out of Tyloo. Complexity jumping the gun on that half buy, or rather that force buy.
Poď.
Spýtaj sa Žola, či Davis zbalil nejakú ženu. Mám stavky na toto, chápeš? Tak musíme to dolné.
Oni išli na diskotéku.
Na DÍKY, no. Davis
No, lebo...
na diskotéku.
Hej, lebo prišiel aj NDA so Spiritom.
NDA?
Sú takí DJ slovenskí, oni tam majú spoluprácu s... Neviem, jak sa volá ten bar, Epic? Česky, asi tak tam. No tak oni tam išli potom na tú diskotéku. Digina! Čak to poznáš, aj ty si chodil na Diginy, nie?
Chodil, keď...
Nechodil?
Á, takto. Do 20-ky možno.
Si to neviem predstaviť, jak tam tancuješ, ty kokot.
My sme boli tá skupina, ktorá bola skôr najebaná na záchodoch a robili sme zle, vieš.
Si ich tam chytali, hej?
Asi ťahol.
G won't let it happen. 3 kills for G. 2 warp head-to-heads.
Dendok, to je skôr tá skupina, čo som ich bil na diskotéke. Hej no.
I mean, just as, you know, we come into this second half, Junior having this wild uptick in performance down the stretch of the CT side for complexity. Well, now it's G's time to shine on this AWP. And he's been providing so much for Tyloo. These critical kills and turning points of the round, always willing to search for the openers.
No, čakám ja koko cez.
A že ešte tu nemáme chalanov, Vice pri kočku, Miro je na ceste, ešte vydrž. Ideme dvaja. Napíš to konec zatiaľ.
This guy had a very slow start to the tournament, now getting the ball rolling. When it really matters. And so what once felt like a very healthy lead for complexity is whittled down to this. This is a cobbled together buy after the Junior saves.
Yeah, the worst part is you feel like you saved the ball twice. You know, in a 1v3, just trying to get away with this gun, and now you don't even have it in the round you've been waiting for. In fact, not only that, you've got 3 Galils. You're already down to your final bits of utility.
And I mean, you have enough util left for like 1 play, essentially.
Ja som bol ten typ, ktorý vyskakoval a pak dostal venku na piču. Teraz mi nedávno pripomenul Kenny Tico, ja som to úplne že zabudol. Že sme boli najebaní kdesi medzi panelákmi na lavičke a sme sa dohadovali, že nejak vyprovokujeme bitku, tak chalani sa schovali do kríkov a ja som provokoval bitku nejakú. Čiže akože som bol sám najebaný, vieš. A že potom vyskakali všetci, to si ani nepamätám. A chudá Kenny na záchytke skončil.
Nix might have found the gap on this flank, but with his whole team dead, it won't ever come to matter. A flawless round.
10-9, kamarád, 10-9.
And we've had some, poor maps in this tournament for Attacker, for Mercury, so far coming in pretty cold. But in this series,
it's very
different. Attacker, think about those spray transfers, some of those multi-kills. Playing some incredible CS. Mercury now coming up with a clutch in the first half.
Tak teraz to už nie je smiešne, lebo teraz vás zaujímajú iné veci a bavíte sa na iných veciach, ale vtedy to bola zabava ako kokot. Keď si bol malý šuflikantý kokos, vieš? Ledva si mal kredit v telefóne a na záchytke si sedel.
20 possible surviving players. Tyloo have had 18 players live. You've gotten 2 kills.
Si pamätám, jak Kenny sa hral. Tej kokot, ja tak smial. Najebaný bol ako vadová. Ležal v pieskolisku pod prelieskami. Normálne. Policajti s baterkou ho išli obzrieť, že čo mu je. A on neviel do toho, tak sa postavil a rovno mu išiel najebať policajtovi, že ako išiel do neho kope. Potom sa uvedomil, že sú to policajti. Rovno ho brali ty kokot do auta. Teraz už nemôže robiť zlé, chápeš? Teraz už je všetko môžeš prísne do piče. Dobre, jaký hold? Dobrý hold. Bajs, Miro! Na Discord, pome!
And it felt like they found survival on Inferno, but very quickly Tyloo have come back, and there's nothing the Complexity can look at and go, that worked, let's fall back on this. Oh, we had a close round here. No.
Plakal či kričal?
Tyloo have lost 3 players in 5 rounds.
3 players. Keby ti poviem, že mám 160 000 bodov a šetrím si ich na end, tak to spravíš, ale potom si dopsal, kreténe. Dopsal, chápeš? Rovno odchádza zo streamu, ti hovorím. Keby dáš pri drakovi, tak kamaráde, držím palce.
From Grim, who you know has been trying to press every advantage he can get his hands on in this series. Something has to give if Cole want to break through. Otherwise, Tyloo are right there. They find themselves in this 4-on-3. It's the best that they've been in this second half since the pistol. So this is where it's going to come together, but they lose Grim now. Found through the mid-smoke. That advantage disappears. And everything gives way to uncertainty. 3-on-3. Cole pumped the brakes. These next few seconds decide everything. What's the play going to be? How does JT want this one to end? Everyone's moving all towards A. They're going into the 2-man hole. And they lose Nix around the corner in middle. This advantage squandered. 4-on-3.
Oh, ďakujem, ahoj.
Dent since then. 6C on the wrap out towards the long side. Position to try and make a difference, but he's iced out, and so Junior trial by fire as the fate of Complexity rests on the shoulders of their stand-in. Not armed with his AWP, he's got to do it with the rifle. He's going searching for the player in pit. This is wild routing. Junior knows exactly what he's got to do if he wants to pull this one off.
Škoda, ty kokos. Dobre, ale.
In a must-win clutch, Tyloo now up in the lead and just rounds away from eliminating NA's team.
A single shot from that clutch being set up from
Dekoláš, Volko, si rád?
would have done it into the 1v1 with advantage. But instead, this streak continues to build for Tyloo.
Počkaj, holím si nos.
Čo ti jebe?
And Cole's lifeline
Čo
in
si
this
zajebal?
tournament.
Normálne žolo si anál holil.
Dangling by a thread.
Si vopchal strček do análu a proste
It doesn't feel like they have it in them.
povykrúcal
To
to
by si
tam.
počul, že...
No.
To si objavil na telefóne nejakú zvučku isto, že?
Nie, holím si nos.
Hej, pri kompe do klávesnice, ty priebaný.
Tyloo, they can hear it coming. Complexity, fast out middle. Mercury flashing himself back in, continuing to find impact as the in-game leader, and he's got firepower behind him.
Zas ten text kurvený. 12-10, oni môžu aj ani kolo, chápeš? Čo tam vyvádzajú tie komplexity do piči. Nemá nervy tento, dívaj sa na ňo. Jak je natrúnžený.
Seven rounds straight on this CT side. Just like Train was decided by a hot streak from Tyloo, Inferno looks to be much the same. Complexity's do or die moment is right now. Their fate's in Austin on the line. Up through Banana, they trade in places with Jam Young. It's chaos. He's in behind them. They will flush out Jam Young.
Jak môžu takto pustiť?
In front of them. Decides to fight and die on the hill that is Banana. Blows the smoke open. How is G still alive?
Však ale jebe ti to, jak trovujú. To nič do nička ani poďme domov, mám piči, či čo?
And no advantage in this game has felt safe for Complexity at 3-on-2 in the final round, but look where Attacker lies. He's made the play through the apartments. He's got the bomb right here, ready to go down in mid. And Sixy's got no reason to check this. Tyloo trying to tear this away from Complexity at the 11th hour.
Si videl, že ten streamer, ten Tekton, nie? Čo bol na kiku.
Aha.
Čo multistreamoval, dostal ban na Twitchi.
Viem. Že povedal na OnlyFans nejaké kurvy, že sú kurvy.
The captain of this squad, top performer right now, looking to win it on his own. 1v2. Sees the info, sees a player in the site, knows about the pit, crosses in quick, and he finds that isolation kill.
To je halus vlastne, že zapravdu dostaneš ban.
Barely surviving in Austin, trying to force overtime on Tyloo's home map. That's the first round in the Complexity.
Yeah, last 7 rounds in a row going the way of Tyloo. Finally, the streak broken. Complexity give themselves one more chance.
Dobre, poďme, posledné kolo. Dúfajme, že posledné kolo nechce im predĺženie. Tyloo, čo utnite do piči.
They do it again. There's another triple stack.
Stejný sa demi, ty kokos. A je piči. A je tu predĺženie.
Capitulation at the major. It might be too little. It might be too late.
A vlastne som jebli, nič berem späť. Moje oči zaškúdli zas.
Found a golden timing and he is threading the needle on this play. He knows one kill is not how you win this round. One kill is not how you keep your team alive at the major. He's got to be more than that. He's got to do more than that. In with this backstab, Sixy's been flushed out.
3v2.
All he could to try and bring Complexity into a post plant, get them in with this bomb. Nix and Junior, the two left in it. Complexity's last hope resting
tak to zdravíš, 2v4 to dajú.
And their latest addition.
Full retake. Get everything in order. This is Tyloo's round to lose.
Pressures at a fever pitch. Nix force forward, flashes are good, and Nix is overran.
Tyloo sa zachránili, kamaráde, a postupovačka. 2-0 na 5 nad Complexity. Pekne, pekne, pekne. Tyloo, grác, kamaráde, body, 73%. Pochybovačov vyhralo. Dobre, až teraz idú práve predikcie. Win, otáznik, áno, nie. Máte 5 minút na stávkovanie teraz. Dobre. Na druhom streame je čo? 1-1 na mapy a je to 3-3. Tak to možno ešte poďme pozrieť, keď dohráme CS-ko.